What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Burley Oak Brewing Company, and they are out of Berlin, Maryland, and this is their Fudgy Wuzzy Slippers, the cookies and cream cheesecake variant. So this is an Imperial Stout that is brewed with brownie mix and then conditioned on 200 pounds of Oreo cookies and cheesecake. Comes in at 10.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just over 1 month old. Now I want to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and a viewer of the channel, Alex, for hooking me up with this one. Thank you very much, good sir. I truly do appreciate it. I'll post a link in the description box to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies Alex sent my way, and he sent me a lot of them. And, full disclosure here, this beer is open. You might actually be able to see the remnants of the beer around the rim. So I saw a lot of reports of this one exploding. I noticed cream cheese, cheesecake, stuff like that. These beers might explode. It's been kept cold the entire time. But I wanted to open this one up over a sink to make sure it didn't explode everywhere when I was reviewing it. And it really didn't explode. It just gushed a little bit, but it did not breach the top. Just kind of like rushed out of the can and then kind of went back in. So the top of the can is stained, but I did not lose any beer at all. Well, a little bit around the rim, but it did not pour over everything. But I wanted to open up over a sink, and I want to be honest with you guys and say, yes, I've opened this off camera, but I have not tasted it. I have not poured it, and I don't think I lost any of it, which is the best thing. So this sounds crazy. You're talking about brewing with brownie mix, conditioning at Oreo cookies and cheesecake, big Imperial Stout. This might be delicious. It might be a mess. Who knows? On the side here, I love how they can't say actual Oreo cookies. It just says Imperial Stout with chocolate sandwich cookies. Okay, I get it. I get it. You don't want to be, copyright the whole nine, trademark, all that stuff. All right, let's give this a pour. Wow, that's motor oil. That is definite motor oil. Definitely carbonated quite a bit too, so didn't really lose any of it. A little bit of a cheat there, but I can't really taste too much, just a little bit. So, yeah, no head. A little bit of dirty glass mafia going on. Come on. I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna leave it like a badge of honor right there. Dirty glass mafia. It doesn't usually happen to me, but anyway. You can see it right here. This is pitch black in the glass. More like a very dark brown color. It looks very murky and just weird. Kind of reminds me of that, I think it was the Dewey beer that he sent me that was kind of similar to this. It did not look good in the glass, but it tasted pretty good. That's kind of what this looks like. You see remnants probably of the cheesecake and the cookies and everything on the side, but that looks pretty nice. So let's get a nose. Ooh, definitely has a big like Imperial Stout kind of vibe to it. Yeah, lots of complex chocolate notes, sweeter dark chocolate, 50-60% cacao bars, baker's chocolate, the whole nine. Not super sweet chocolate, this one, which is crazy because brownie mix, Oreo cookies and cheesecake. Well, now I'm starting to get the brownie batter as this opens up in glass. Now, this has been on my fridge, and probably part of the reason why I was afraid to open it on camera and whatnot and didn't want to explode is that I want this warm up a little bit. I don't like drinking any of my beer like ice cold. I usually drink most of them at least out of the fridge for 20 or 30 minutes. And a beer like this, it's been out of the fridge for about an hour, and that's kind of what I prefer. Ooh, starting to getting a little bit like the chocolate from Oreo now. The brownie batter is definitely there. It's sweet, but it's like a reserve sweetness. This does not smell sickly sweet, and that's what I thought. There's even like base roasted kind of malt qualities to this one from the base Imperial Stout. A little bit of vanilla, sure. Cheesecake, I guess from the Oreo cookies, sans lactose, the filling, but like a vanilla kind of sweetness. Yeah, so definitely getting the brownie batter, brownie mix. The sweetness from like the Oreo cookies. Not really saying cheesecake outside like a vanilla, but it smells pretty good. It doesn't smell amazing or like blowing my mind or whatever. It just smells like a really nice, like chocolate heavy. Like if I was doing this blind, I'd say like chocolate and vanilla Imperial Stout. That's what I'd say. But it smells pretty good, so let's get into it. Cheers, everybody, and thanks again, Alex. It's very, very chocolate heavy. I dig it. It's definitely sweet. It's not cloying, but it's sweet. So body on this one at 10.5%. It's pretty thick. I'd say like lower side of full body. Definitely has a nice viscosity to it, nice thickness to it. Definitely not quite chewy, but approaching that. Body's nice. The mouthfeel, even though you saw like the carbonation fizz away and everything, on the palate, definitely lost some carbonation. Could be, I mean, I only opened it like less than 5 minutes before I reviewed it, so that shouldn't be an issue, but it's not as carbonated. It's not flat, but it's definitely under carb. So it has a nice soft smoothness to it. I would thought it would be a little bit more creamy, cheesecake, Oreos, brownie batter. I thought it'd be more like a creamy, like kind of sensation. Really not. The taste though, this is really chocolate heavy. The chocolate character of this one is super complex. Sweet dark chocolate, like I said, baker's chocolate, 50-60% cacao bar. Chocolate, the chocolate from the Oreos. There is just a good overall chocolate quality of this one. Now, if I was doing this as a whodunit beer, whodunit beer review or mystery beer review, would I be able to tell you there's Oreos in here, or cheesecake, or brownie batter? Probably not. Just be honest with you, I just don't think I would be able to. I'd say this was brewed with cacao or some kind of chocolate. At this point, I wouldn't even say vanilla. I am getting vanilla like halfway through the palate, but up front, all that chocolate is just kind of attacking my palate, and that carries on through the rest of the palate. Like, this is a big, like almost fudgy, brownie-esque kind of just sweetness, and it's chocolate personified. It's really nice. I do enjoy this one, and it's not too sweet, which I thought it would be. I mean, it's definitely sweet. Don't get me wrong. You're expecting a 10.5% Imperial Stout with those 3 ingredients to be sweet, but it's not overly sweet. It finishes with a residual sweetness that's, pretty big, but it doesn't get to the point that it's cloying for me. I get a little bit of alcohol citricity on the back of the palate, kind of, stop it maybe from approaching cloying because it gets close, but it doesn't hit it. Outside that slight alcohol citricity, I'm really not getting any kind of chest warming or into the stomach, which is crazy. So high as the alcohol, relatively well. I'd probably guess like 8.5%, 9%. So not quite 10.5%. So I think they did a good job with the body. The mouthfeel, a little underwhelming. The hiding of the alcohol is really nice. And I like the chocolate characters. So I really like this beer. The only issue I have with it for me personally is that I'm really not getting specifically each of the ingredients or like even them blended. I'd say the one that I'm getting the most is probably the brownie mix, because I'm getting like a brownie batter, almost fudge-esque kind of character to the beer, but I wouldn't necessarily say brownie mix. Not really tasting the Oreo cookies exactly. And the cheesecake, I've had cheesecake now in like 4 or 5 beers. And it just doesn't, like the cheesecake, you would think, okay, that's cheesecake, so you're going to get graham cracker and, the cheesecake base, which is vanilla and just like a sweetness and creaminess. And I just usually don't get it. So it's tough to, I guess, taste the cheesecake in a beer. But yeah, it's a nice beer. I really do enjoy it. So I'm going to be honest with you like I always am. I'm going to give Fudgy Wuzzy Slippers the chocolate sandwich cookie cheesecake Imperial Stout, which again, this is the cookies and cream cheesecake variant. I'm going to give it a low 4 out of 5 and go 3.9 out of 5. For me, to get it, right to a 4 or even higher, I want to taste the Oreos. I kind of want to taste the cheesecake, and I want this mouthfeel to not be as undercarbonated as it is. I just want more from it. There's so many beers you get like this that are like, oh man, it sounds amazing, or it looks amazing, or you think it's going to be amazing, then you drink and you're like, man, no, this is a good beer, but not what I kind of thought it was going to be. And that's kind of this beer. It's not a bad beer in the least. I'm actually enjoying it. A 3.9 out of 5 is a solid damn score. But at the end of the day, I was thinking this would be a great beer, and it would be amazing, and it would be fantastic. And it's just not. It happens. But here's the thing. I still appreciate Alex sending it my way, because I would not get a chance to try this beer if it wasn't for the generosity and kindness of a guy like Alex to just send these beers my way. And I'm so thankful that Alex is a great dude. He just sends me awesome beer, and I get a chance to try it. And I always tell anybody who ever sends me beers, whether it's a brewery or people that watch the reviews or even friends, always honest with the beer review, because why sit up here and just be like, everything's fantastic, oh, thank you for sending, like, I appreciate everybody sending me beer. I do. You fucking so cool. But you got to keep it honest. You got to keep it 100, as the cool kids say. Maybe not. And 3.9 out of 5 is the best I can do for this beer. It's still good. It's just not mind-blowing. And that's where it lands. So, yeah. Anyway, not much more to say about it. Price and availability. Brewery only, I'm pretty sure. And price point on this one, I believe, was $22 4-pack. Would I pay $22 4-pack for this beer again? I would not. I did not. Alex did, or Alex, got his hands on some cans, whether trading or whatever, or he probably went to the brewery, I'd imagine. And I would not pay that again personally for this beer. But if they would release this one locally and I never had it before, I would have went and bought a 4-pack, no doubt. without question. So again, huge thanks to Alex for hooking me up with this beer and all the beers. A lot of fun to try. A little bit disappointed by this one. Not a bad beer in the least, just all the crazy shit they're talking about on the label and what they're brewing it with and stuff just doesn't resonate with me personally. But it's still a pretty good beer, and I'm going to go drink the rest of it and enjoy it, but just hoping it was a little better. So if you've had this one before, any of the Fudgy Wuzzy Slippers beers within their series, let me know, and I'd love to hear somebody else's opinion on this one if you've had it, because again, I'm just one person. It's my palate. My palate really doesn't matter to your palate, probably. I mean, even if you like the same beers I do 99% of the time, that means 1 out of 100 beers you will not like as much as me. And more often than not, even some, some friends like a good buddy of mine and a viewer of the channel, Jeff, aka No Jinx, him and I probably agree on 80-90% of the beers, but that means 1 or 2 beers out of 10 will have a differing of opinion, whether it's rating or what we thought of the beer. And that's what beer's all about, but that's what life's about. We don't all have the same taste. So because I'm giving this a 3.9, that doesn't mean if you see this one, you shouldn't try it out for yourself. Still go try it. You might love this one. You might hate it. Who knows? But that's why I like reviewing beers, and that's why I have a YouTube channel. That's why I'm a beer tuber, because I like telling you guys my opinion, but my opinion is only my opinion. You got to try it for yourself to see if you actually like it. So I'm going to stop ranting and raving about absolutely nothing. I'm going to head out. Thanks again to Alex for this beer, for all the beers. Thanks to everybody for the continued support and checking out another review. To the next one, cheers.